Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk MS. As I said in last week's video where I discussed heat and how it affects those living with MS, it seemed that everybody gets affected by heat pretty much the same way. They find that if they're in the heat for too long, their symptoms could get a lot worse. Some people almost feel like they're having a flare. And so I can tell you, when I was first diagnosed, that was actually one of my biggest fears moving forward living with MS, was how my body was going to react to the heat. And last year, when the spring and summer months started to come up, I was really avoiding things that I would have normally done in the previous years in fear that my MS would get worse if I put my body in the heat for too long. So, for example, I was married June 20th last year, and I had my wedding booked before I was diagnosed. My ceremony was outside, so I actually requested that they make the ceremony shorter than what they normally would because I had this big fear of standing up there and being at the altar and like fainting and getting overheated because I didn't know how my body would react. Now that I've done a full summer living with MS and I'm at this point where I know my body a lot better living with the disease, I've really started to get over that fear of being in the heat and worrying about having a flare because of high temperatures. And so I really started to do things that I wasn't doing last summer that I really wanted to do. And they are simple things that could seem silly to some people, but for me, kind of a big accomplishment. So one thing I can tell you that I used to love to do before I was diagnosed was go tanning. Yes, I know tanning in a salon can be really bad for your skin and you shouldn't do it all the time, but it was something that I really loved before. I used to tan 3 to 4 times a week, and the minute I was diagnosed, I stopped tanning. I was so scared that if I dare get back in a tanning bed, then I would have a relapse or have a flare or have really bad symptoms, and I really didn't want to put my body through that. So about a month ago, I decided that I was going to give tanning a try again because I just wanted to get over that fear of being in a tanning bed for even 5 minutes and my body not being able to handle it. And I knew that if it wasn't something I tried, I would never know if my body would react differently than it did before. So I went about a month ago, and as I said, I was in there for 5 minutes, and I was not affected by it at all. It actually was so relaxing for my muscles, and I felt so good when I got out. And since then, I've been going tanning once a week. And again, it's something so silly, but for me, it felt really, really good to know that I was getting out of that comfort zone, getting past that fear of doing something that I really enjoyed before. So this summer, I'm really going to make an effort to do things that I used to do, but after my diagnosis, told myself that I would never do again because I don't think my body could handle it. So over the next few months, you can expect videos from me sharing different things that I'm going to be trying or going to be doing because I really want to see how my body reacts, if it's going to react at all. And I would really hate to miss out on opportunities with my friends and family this summer because I have this fear of being in the heat and not knowing how I'm going to react. So again, look out for those videos. For those of you that have MS, if you ever had any questions about the stuff I'm doing, please feel free to send me a private message and I will definitely talk about them in my future videos. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see all of you next week.